Alright, so it seems as though we are finally getting one step closer to finding out who exactly Willie Minerva is and finding out the secrets as to what has been going on in this series, The Promised Neverland, why the kids have been locked away in these orphanages, these prisons, you know, up till the age of, like, what, 12, I believe they are, until they are consumed, why exactly these demons are bringing them up, if they are just going to consume them, you know, just all of the questions that we have had through, you know, the chapters of The Promised Neverland. It seems as though we're finally getting some progression as to see what sort of secrets we can find out. We're not going to get a huge info dump anytime soon, but it does seem as though we are climbing little bit and by little bit up the staircase as to finding out what these secrets contain. And from what we saw in, you know, the last few pages of this chapter, The Promised Neverland, we have the Willie Minerva pen actually being a map. Because as you look more into the pen, you can actually find out that there is another code hidden within it as well, depending on how you tweak it a certain way or not. And this coding ends up appearing as B1-14, I believe, which is an entirely different code. Yes, B1-14, which is an entirely different coding compared to the previous coding that Emma just gave us. So we have two different codes right now. So will these codes lead to Willie Minerva's whereabouts? I doubt it would lead to his whereabouts, especially this early on in The Promised Neverland, because we still have quite a journey's worth to go. I mean, the kids just did get out of, you know, the facility. It would be kind of weird to just, you know, in the next few chapters or so, they discover where exactly Willie Minerva is. For all we know, Willie Minerva could possibly be dead at this point. But these two codings could definitely lead us to secrets on how this whole, you know, operation, experimental sort of, you know, facility, you know, prison went down in the first place. Learn more about its origins. And also within this code B1-14, a holographic map appears with the same emblem of the owl of the ones that we have seen from the books in Willie Minerva's library, which is the shape of an owl. Now, we still need to have Norman and also Ray and Emma decipher these codes in order for them to actually figure out where, you know, these locations lead them to and where they're exactly at, you know, but still, it does seem like we're getting some, you know, little tidbits of how the quest to actually find Willie Minerva can end up coming out to be, because that's something that I really want to see in The Promised Neverland. I want to find out the origins of what actually was going on in this facility in the very beginning, why exactly there are demons. It seems that the demons and the humans are working together. What exactly is going on there? You know, what's the deal with these orphanages? Why are they separating, you know, these kids in the first place? There's just a bunch of questions that we have right now, and I'm just very curious as to how exactly the story is going to develop from here on out, because this is what I wanted to see from the very beginning of The Promised Neverland. The story is great, don't get me wrong, the characters are great, but what I really wanted to learn more about from the very beginning was Willie Minerva. And to see now that we're finally getting that, that is what I have been looking forward to see since the very beginning, because technically, I mean, in my personal opinion, Willie Minerva is like the center of the story. Everything is revolving around his character. Sure, we have our main characters, but regarding the person who is most pivotal to the plot to understand what is going on, it seems as though Willie Minerva is the most important character that we as the viewer, or reader in this case, are going to have to, you know, really pay attention to, especially when it comes down to, you know, this whole deciphering and coding that is, you know, being shown to us in the chapters now, to find out where exactly his whereabouts are, or just how he's connected to certain things, especially when it comes to the demons and whatnot. That's going to be very interesting to find out, so I'm very curious as to how that is going to be executed. And also at the ending of this chapter, while we discover some things about Willie Minerva when it comes down to the overall coding and whatnot, and knowing that Emma and the group are now going to be going on a quest in order to try to track him down, which was very, you know, obvious in the first place, because obviously we need to find out more information regarding Willie Minerva and, you know, just his overall character if we want to learn more about the world that we are in. But the moment that we find out about that, you know, at the same time, almost everyone within Emma's group ends up getting taken away. I believe the only people that are still around, you know, at the end of the chapter is Emma, Ray, and 2 other kids, I believe. As far as everyone else, they simply just vanished, especially Gilda and Dawn, which were, you know, 2 other characters that helped them in the process of escaping, and they vanished without a trace, which is the scary part. So it has to be something residing within the forest, but then at the same time, we also have, you know, in the beginning of the chapter, we saw that the demons are actually going to be hunting down Emma and the group to take back, you know, their prey, their livestock, so to speak, you know. So could it be them? Probably not, because that would be too quick for them to catch up, at least in my personal opinion. They do know that they escaped out of the plantation, but as far as to where their whereabouts are, I doubt they know exactly where they are located at. However, there could be the possibility that they still might have arrived. I mean, we don't know. This is a manga series after all. You know, anime, manga, you never know what's going to happen. But regarding that, there could also be something else residing within the forest as well. Or there, you know, it could be something technological speaking that transported them somewhere. I mean, we really don't know. I mean, it's just kind of weird how these kids, you know, escaped from, you know, a very dangerous facility in which they thought they were safe at in the first place, but they soon found out that it was actually really, really dangerous and that their lives were at stake. They finally end up getting to safety, and then automatically, like that, technically almost all of the kids who escaped vanished without a trace, and there are no leads that Emma and Ray and the other kids that are with them, which are, I think, are only like, what, 1 or 2 more, you know, they have no idea what happened with them. So it's very odd. It's very odd. So it's going to be kind of cool actually seeing how exactly they are going to find this. They're going to have to probably find out where they are through the help of Willie Minerva's like map when it comes to the pen. Maybe the pen is going to, you know, lead them into the right direction. I mean, we really don't know what happened, but there is definitely something within the forest that had to have been watching them from the very beginning. But we don't really know. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, one more thing that I also wanted to talk about regarding this chapter of The Promised Neverland is that will Ray actually end up surviving in the next coming chapters? And I know what you guys are thinking, like, what, Ray, my boy? Him going out? No, don't say that, Professor. I mean, I know. But the thing is, Ray said something quite obvious, you know, when it comes to other sort of manga series that kind of foreshadows a, you know, death, a red flag for the character. And this is what he stated. This was on page 14 of the manga. Emma, I'm going to live. I'm going to live and protect my family. And this is when they're all talking about, you know, Ray's birthday, you know, that they escaped technically on his given day, and also that, you know, they, you know, have been doing this together since the very beginning, and just to know that Ray and everyone else is alive and well, that they, you know, are happy for one another, and they know they will be happy for, you know, the rest of the adventure, that the challenges that they might face up ahead. And this is where Ray also, you know, decides for himself that I am going to try my very best to protect my family as well at all cost. You know, my true family, you know, people who I have grown up with. And when it comes to Ray, like, him stating that, especially regarding that scene, that really makes me feel as though he has a death flag, like, just hanging above his head, just waiting to happen. I'm not going to say it is going to happen, but I'm just saying it's something that we possibly should take into consideration. We'll just see where it goes from here on out. But I mean, there's been various other death flags when it comes to the Promised Neverland, and we haven't really seen those deaths yet happen besides Miss Crone, of course. Norman, I saw leaps and bounds of a freaking, you know, death flag hanging on above his head in the very beginning of the Promised Neverland when I first, like, started the manga, but Norman's not dead yet. Miss Crone is a prime example of a death that we have seen. We haven't seen Norman's death at all. We don't even know what happened to Norman. But yeah, Norman is considered dead, but we haven't seen him actually die, or seen his body for that matter. So that means that, you know, he's not really dead at the moment. But I'm just saying that, you know, regarding what Ray said in this chapter, that's something to take into consideration. I mean, I'm not saying that he will end up dying. It's just that there is a possibility that the author could have given him a death flag. I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm glad that we're actually making some sort of progression regarding finding out who Willie Minerva is, his whereabouts, and just his connections to the overall facility in general. I'm very interested to learn more about that, and that honestly was probably the best moment of the chapter for me, just to learn more about Willie Minerva, where he is at and whatnot. Like, that's what I really want to see. I didn't really care about anyone else vanishing. No, but I mean, you know, it's very weird to see that. It's very weird to see that these kids just suddenly just walk up and vanish without any explanation, almost like they were abducted. So, hey, something must be watching them in the forest, right? What do you guys think it is? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think is the cause of the kids vanishing out of the forest? And also, do you think Ray will die? And what do you think of Willie Minerva's location, his coordinates, the coding that has appeared on the screen? Where do you exactly think these codes will lead Emma, Ray, and the rest of the gang? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and hit that red subscribe button down below. See you guys next time.